User left your channel.
Perfect. Well, let's spit some fire, Alex, and get into this first game.
He's woken up hot today.
North versus Mousesports, a great map. I'd certainly agree with the analysts. He's going to be up to gate to spot for that information down towards the bottom and middle. And there's 5 players going up very quickly. You can see they've got 4 Kevlars, 1 smoke. That's going to be going towards library. And they're not slowing down at all here, not wasting any time as they make their way towards Arch and maybe towards CT spawn.
Yeah, okay, taking advantage of a passive hold from Gade and Kirby towards A. They could wrap through that. The smoke there still present. They have a 3-man lean towards B. The numbers certainly favour Mouse if they were to commit here. You know what? I'm sure we'll give you that POV in just a moment. Kirby, though, still has eyes and Gade. No, not going to get the first. Kirby keeps things level and extends it. Anticipating the pressure from Chris J. Beautiful response. Still got 5 in the clip, but Woxic, his aggression is rewarded, so down to a 3 versus 2 Mousesports. They're getting pincered in here. AZ's going to connect already onto Frozen, leaving Woxic. Last man standing, given an opportunity though. A couple of bullets do whistle past the ears of Yugi. Kit present, and he pushes. North will find themselves the first. The analysts doubting them, and understandably so. Of course, we saw them in that upper bracket game of the Miners and Mousesports, a quick 2-0 when these teams last met in Berlin.
Yeah, North have not put their best foot forward at this tournament so far. I would say they've actually looked pretty good in the last month, but this is a much better start for them. It's Kiabi with fantastic aim towards the pit position here. That's lovely. Very crisp, very precise. And there will be a force buy from Mousesports in response. They've got Desert Eagles. 4 of those, 1 scout as well. Voxic, we know how powerful he can be with the scout, especially on a map like Inferno. We'll see if they can step up here. They're up against just 1 rifle on the CT side. That's in the hands of Kiabi with 4 UMPs focusing on that utility game. You can see they're actually gunning for some banana control here as the double HEs are deployed.
Yeah, not too much damage. Chris Chase just stands there in between the flames and the nades. He still manages to get away. Body shots to AZ gives them the man advantage, and a nade just to try and dissuade Valder from pushing down. That's not going to achieve its goal though, because he's on his way. Smoke clears. Continues to stand. They're actually going to swap things out, realizing that with Chris J's low HP, he can just hold the back lines with that scout. Good start for Mousesports, but the hard work still to come.
Yeah, they've still got their 4 smokes, however. You can see North a little bit on the back foot here with 2 players towards A. Remember, UMPs are their main focus. Kiabi will be playing the pits with the M4, but he's only got the flashbang remaining as Gage. I'll try and sniff out towards middle. Then he presence on the other side. That grenade could do decent damage, actually.
Oh my
just
goodness.
about tickles Garrigan.
If Chris J was just a millimeter closer to that nade on Banana, he's gone. Down from 6 to 5. Rops actually extends their lead, now closing in on the site. Gage has to do so much with the SMG, spraying and connecting. My goodness, they're oh so low, but still just 2 stand. It's a numbers game in more ways than one. Valder and Yugi on either side of A. Bomb does go down, and now Mousesports, they're going to want to become best friends with that clock.
I think they're going to be saving here, from what I can tell. It's going to be Valder who's taking the UMP all the way towards the arch. Well, it's Yugi, I beg your pardon. It's going to be Valder towards the apartment. So holding on to 2 SMGs, an incendiary, feeling like they're going to be a buy into next round. We've seen a lot of this, Alex. A lot of second round force buys working out, especially on that T side. It'll be Chris J to recover the M4. And look how low their HP is. It's very unfortunate for Gade. He did so much damage there. And Mousesports can't stick around for the blast. They're going to have to get out, try and hold on to what they have here. Valder looking for exits. And he's got a good chance of finding a couple of those. He's at least got 40, I would say.
I mean, if they keep on the M4, it's awkward, it's unretrievable. And he's stuck in that balcony. He's going to get another one. Valder, he's making short work of 3 members. It will just be the UMP, but that's a whole lot of work towards the end of that second round.
Well, he did manage to get himself $1,800 extra there as well with those 3 kills. But the thing is, he lost the UMP. So do they still want to invest into this one? We will have a look. I would suggest they probably will. There's Rops showing us how capable he is with the Desert Eagle. That's a brilliant headshot. Gets himself a second kill on the bomb site. That was the swing moment there. If Gade gets a couple of kills, it all falls apart. But we'll see ourselves with 3 SMGs, 2 upgraded pistols. They still have a decent amount of utility on the CT side as well, but up against a lot more firepower here. Gade takes a lot of damage here, has to commit, and you would be naded at that point. And it's the opening kill for Gade, who does actually recover the Galil as well.
That's worked out nicely. Lots of opening exchanges towards Banana between these two. Sometimes You really do just see a more passive hold so far. They've been contesting.
But that was pretty cool. The fact they got the kill and the grenade blew the Galil right into their hands. That's not bad at all. They've got a 5-on-4 and a rifle in the hands of Gade.
With the initial aggression, they can't invest their numbers towards A, and they have done so. Same could be said for Mousesports, as Garrigan's just on the other end of that smoke. AZ's on a retrieval mission for information, will continue to jiggle and react with a smoke should he need to. For now, with 60 seconds, Mousesports do start to gather towards quad. Kirby did so much in the pistol from pit. He has much more support this time around, though. Valda's going to make his presence no secret. And here we go. Molotov forces Kirby wide. Garrigan into the side. Gaden's on somewhat of an off angle, but Rops will behead him. Swinging into the side. The SMG doesn't have any. Kirby's deagle continues to impress. Woxic finds his way into the site, and now the bomb can go down.
Yeah, very difficult situation here for AZ. He's coming from the library, and one smoke, a flashbang available to him. That hasn't got exactly where he wanted. You can see a bit frustrated with it, but flash will go off with no kit and now no further utility. I think his options are very limited at this point. He's going to see what he can do towards the quad side. You can see Galil's down there, but they've got a crossfire from the pit and the bomb side. Looks like potentially just going for some exit kills here once again.
Might be take a leaf out of Valda's book.
I think so. If he can upgrade to an AK-47, that'd be great, but that force buy doesn't work out for North. They will essentially be full eco into the next round, depending on whether AZ saves anything here. If he gets an AK, maybe they'll be tempted to partially buy into it.
A Counter-Strike quiz for you.
Go on.
With where the bomb's planted now, with Rops' 20 HP,
yeah, he's
safe
fine.
in that corner.
It does like 14 damage when it's in towards that back of the side there.
Ooh, Henry G with the flex, big brain.
Yeah, I've played a lot of this game.
Really? Wow.
It is weird, like the distance on some of the maps, the radius is like, it's so difficult to predict. It's very strange. Like Inferno just doesn't seem to tickle you at all, and on some other maps, you can be so far away and it completely wrecks you. But for now, we're going to have, like we said, potentially the full eco here for North. They saved that UMP, but they can't really justify much more than that P250 to CZ. They've got one flashbang. All the teams like to focus top middle, flash over, and then swing with 4 players, but they've actually got 3 towards Banana right now. Gade's will be setting up the pop flash from the coffin's position, so his teammates will wait to the corner. Any sound cues when they detect presence at the very top. Gade will throw over a pop flash and see if AZ can take down potentially Chris J on the other side.
Is that enough of a sound cue?
I think it might be. With Chris J right at the top there, they probably fancy it.
Trying to draw out utility. You can see how willing he's making as much as he can. Behind the wall. Chris J, smart moves, but he's only going to get the one.
Yeah, he was trying to bait that out, actually. You could see him just making as much noise as possible, jumping around, knowing at the MAC-10 he was very mobile. And it will be an equal trade, actually really favours Mousesports. You can see AZ's the one with the only weapon. He's down to 19 points of health. It will take something astonishing at this stage to stand up tall, and that could be it. With the AK-47 here, Alex, and Kiabi will find the advantage. 3 versus 2. It's just low health, and it's going to be a clean finish from Mousesports. An exciting moment there. Looked like the USP could have been enough.
Yeah, Mousesports thanking their lucky stars. Woxic showing up with a quick triple. Big stuff from Woxic. It's been an interesting conversation, but now top of the scoreboard, comfortable, and a necessary start for Mousesports in order to find their first win here. I mean, the desk painted quite the bleak picture when you realize that these two teams, one of them's going 0-2 today.
Yeah,
one of them's got best of 3s. You have to win 3 best of 3s to get to the champion stage. That's such a tall order.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think you'd expect Mousesports especially to be in that conversation, but let's see where the first gun run will lead us. A bit of aggression here from the CTs. Double HGs to shroud their transition towards second middle. We can see the swing here. That's a great shot. They want a bit more on this one. It's working out very nicely. Wow. All the kills going in favour of North here. Just Carrigan waiting towards B, but not for long. That's one of the quickest rounds you're going to see here today.
Yeah, blink and you miss it. That's already over. We're skipping that one. Yeah. Charging straight down second middle and willing to take those fights. The support from Apps is beautiful.
Absolutely. That was coordinated. That's a set piece they have. There's flashbangs going over the top, the support from Bedroom, and the push towards second middle. The HEs are really important to the puzzle as well, because you don't necessarily want to smoke it. Double HEs will push the Ts back and they can't actually come any towards you, towards that second mid position. It takes vision away as well. And we do have another force buy from Mousesports. You see 2 Deagles. Frozen had to drop, I assume, the AWP for Voxic.
Yeah, and let's see how far that T-side AWP. I always find it interesting how to maneuver around this, especially given the sacrifices 2 of his teammates have had to make in pursuit of the big green. Yugi somewhat of a duel with Chris J. He is going to be a constant nuisance for those banana players.
Yeah, on the CT side as well. He loves this position on the map, always very aggressive, and for now does take a tag, but dished out some damage towards Yugi as well. You can see he's a little bit more tentative with his approach. 72 points of health, and look at the distinct lack of utility on the Mousesports side, Alex. 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, and 1 player tagged up as well. It's not ideal, but...
So you can't really sell a fake with what they've got, right? They don't have the tools to draw CTs away.
You could smoke towards coffins and flash and try to get towards CT spawn, but like it's not going to be a convincing fake. You're better off just using the smoke to actually eradicate risk when you finally commit on one side of the map. We'll see which way they're inclined here. They're presumably going to wait till Voxic can get some basic map control, see if he can pick towards a pit. As Frozen will look for any opportunities with that Desert Eagle.
Bombs on the back of Carrigan. There's no better example of leading from the front than Carrigan. Yugi has made good on his promise he made to Chris J. Second bullet connects. Presence Gay swings out, it's traded, but already once did sneak towards Arch. The call will likely be there. Valder and Kirby responsible for A. Oh, and Kirby's already used his smoke. He's already playing around it, but with 20 seconds left, I think that will have time to clear if they want to try and pursue this push. Flash is going to go way over his head, and he has to get a double hit. Gets the swing, the smoke's obscuring his vision, and now Rops shows up. Just Kirby then. The bomb is safe, and Rops is still hunting. Finds another head into the side. We've got ourselves a 2v2 after plant with just enough time for that to go in, courtesy of Carrigan. Just Yugi's already caught one, down to the 1v1. Carrigan low, that's to take the fight. Smart. Pulls out the USP, knows a lot of the hard work and heavy lifting's being done, and a triple from an AWP that has to show up in this series.
Yeah, he's been pretty absent in this tournament so far. It hasn't looked his usual self, and it's not necessarily played bad. It's just we have such high expectations of a player of his caliber. It hasn't been a fantastic year for him, but that's a really, really good round. 3 kills there, very confident finish, like he said. He knew damage was done. The USP was quite enough with the incendiary thrown. It was always going to flush Carrigan out, and we go 3-3. That's an important round for North to pick up. Even with the bomb planted here, Mousesports don't have a lot of economy going forward. They're averaging around $3,000, so they'll take their first tactical pause of this half. Just joining us, this is a best of 1, the 0-1 bracket, and as Alex mentioned, we go to 0-2, the loser of this best of 1, meaning you have best of 3s going forward. That's quite the daunting prospect, trying to get through to the next stage. Yeah, the format's lovely in that sense, of course, if you want to get yourself, woo, that's the Yugi flick that we have to see more of, and this is the full 3, the full set that brought home the third, an equalizing round for North. But yeah, you want to lock yourself in for the next stage, you have to win a best of 3. You want to survive and play those elimination matches, it will always be a best of 3 series. We have got quite the spicy round coming up here. They're going for a force buy with MAC-10s, MP7, CZ, P250 utility. I can see 4 players towards second middle. Are they going to be challenging this towards the apartment's position? Yugi will spot 1, no damage inflicted. They do actually commit a lot of flashbangs in towards middle, trying to push back. They're going to run through those flames, you know they're going to. Frozen's been doing it all tournament long. They might be able to get the rifle here as they try and stifle the CT defense on the A side here. They are everywhere. Kirby to deal with. Sure, that's the first, but now they've got their eyes locked on his location. Yugi Valder smoked off, and look at the push from Chris J. He's ahead of the CT smoke and catches him towards Speedway. Certainly favoring it. Oh, he caught a glimpse. Frozen, the Grim Reaper, lingering at the corner. Gets himself another one, and just like that, Mousesports, they're poised to convert this round. Look at the Chris J Frozen positioning. Yes. They can just take that bomb, walk in. They absolutely can. You can see now the bomb on the back of Voxy. He's going to wait until they confirm it's clear. There's a chance the CT could have pushed Banana, but looks absolutely fine here. And then, of course, Robs holding towards the apartments, listening out for when they rotate. If they go for this one, Yugi and Kiabi, that is, he's ready to take them down. Also, if they try and save towards the pit, they won't necessarily detect his presence towards that position. They make any sound cues, he's going to jump out and relay that information to his teammates, but they do sit on the bomb site and pit. You see Kiabi watching his position, so he needs to be very aware of that. He's going to get some backup from Voxy. He's only got the P250. They're trying to take some aggro for Robs, I'd imagine, before he commits. I feel like saving in Counter-Strike, it just does feel like a mini game, doesn't it? Yeah. This is just a game within the game. It can have huge implications and ramifications. Words are hard, and yet it's my job. Voxic, though, towards the hay bales. They're going to try and push. It's already 1 goal. Yugi is really trying to clutch hold of the door. 10 seconds, 1 bullet would do it. He's in the corner. He's lost it. Wow.
Late arrival onto the site, he even pulls the AWP into the next round.
I love that from Mousesports. We've seen it a few times in Inferno from them. As soon as they see the incendiary down towards Archer, which usually is an invitation to push through. Look at this from Frozen. He's comes with that MAC-10, which has been such an influential weapon at this tournament so far. Sits in the corner by Library, undetected, and it will be a MAC-10 pistol buy for Mousesports to edge in the lead here. It's going to be 4-3, but the force buyers do not stop there, Alex. North will respond in due course with the C-Sets and M4s himself. This is relentless.
This is 2019,
Yeah.
Henry. My goodness, it's just so impressive. Teams have found ways to win rounds with little. You have to take somewhat of a risk, and they certainly did. I mean, sure, put the flames on the floor, but I can take damage and still have line of sight. A smoke, it's a grey screen. It's a distinct advantage for the CTs. A Molotov, if I've got my crosshair on your head, I'm still going to have that fight.
It's got to be fast with the MAC-10. That's all you are, to be honest. It's a run and gun. Get stuck in as close as you possibly can. And the CTs do not have a kit here. They have a couple of smokes though, however. But it looks like the full B commitment from Mousesports. We can see a boost, I think, towards new boxes here. That's going to be Valda at the top. It's a strong position, but we've seen it a lot this tournament, Alex. It gets pre-fired almost every time. You do avoid the Molotov usually. Let's see what happens.
Ooh, good body shots from Yugi. Brings Carrigan down to the similar stead of Chris J. Two tagged members of Mouse. But with that utility reining in, they aren't necessarily committing.
Did you see the Deagle's fire off shots then? Just to suggest it's just pistols here. Maybe you should come in and consider this one. But it hasn't worked out. The M4 still boosted, but Kiabi, a slight chance to get his kill on Robs. Decent positioning.
And that's a demonstration of it. That was the perfect corner for a CZ to do damage as well. Just couldn't win the reaction fight. Just one man left. He does have the rifle though on the site. Gade. Should be impossible, but now the bomb is in his grasp. They're all closing and looking for him. The AWP trained on his location. He's gone. Now the bomb can be planted, and I think that's the end of that for North.
Yeah, nothing they can really do with this one. Another force buy that's not going to work on the CT side, at least. They will be saving Deagle, CZ, and an M4. Might be looking for exits, but that doesn't look likely. They're not going to have much at all going to that next round. So there it is, another decent approach from Mousesports. Very assertive game so far on their T side. Once they get these picks, they're very happy to commit, push together, use a simple game plan, and we'll look at the scoreboards right now. We've got Robs at the very top. Good to see him performing, Alex. He's had some very quiet games so far.
I think, I don't want to use all of those sweeping statements that you'll hear so often, but he just does feel like someone that is momentum-based in the sense of if he starts strong, he will finish strong. He's had a couple of slow ones to get his major journey started.
Well, that's more like it. Mousesports starting to rack up some money here. They're going to be left with about $5,000 per player after that successful round number 8. North will have to take this one on the chin. Maybe a tactical timeout, but essentially can't really invest anything on top of this.
I think Mousesports might be the team that have mastered the soft fist bump the most.
Okay, how does that work?
I've been concerned that there's a little too much force going into some of these palm slaps and fist bumps.
Well, some of the coaches have really been going for it as well.
I was taking a look at like the Frozen and Raging exchange, and it's a gentle knuckle touch.
So let's like that.
Yeah, it's enough.
What if I did this? Give me that again. So I just went like that.
Ooh.
Or I could kiss it as well. That could be something.
I mean, you could.
That would be a bit weird on camera.
Not really. I mean, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, you could be the innovator of that.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, we'll put that one in the...
Put a pin in it for now.
Yeah, you know.
But Frozen, shout out to him. He's got a soft fist bump, and I think that's important.
That's a good observation.
Thanks, man. I'm full of analytical brilliance.
We'll get into round number 9 here. 5-3 on the T side for Mousesports. Like I said, not really much to talk about here. There's not really any money to invest anything. A Deagle at the very top end. M4 safe in the previous round. We'll see what can be done. Valda will be the one to have the rifle towards Archer. One player towards B is going to be AZ. He has no grenades at all, so that's a difficult one. Try and hold that off. He'll be towards first on just for now, looking to show a bit of presence in the corner.
North have not beaten Mousesports this year. And now they have to avoid the 0-2. This buy, admittedly, perhaps not the round where we see the 4th, as Henry's already outlined. Some clear thought processes going into the way that they're taking this control. Chris J's on the wall, playing anti-flash, Woxic's making that scope. Sound, it's all The little details, smoke, and now they come in. Nice work from Aiden. Away with it. He might even be able to get a second huge amount of damage done to Chris J. Is there anyone that can profit from it? Well, Valda's low, so the answer's Gade. Bomb's not down just yet. 2 in pool. They're going to start getting a little chaotic until that smoke does clear. Gade's already taking some damage as well.
Valda's already booked it towards the A side. He's like, I need to keep this M4 for the next round. Our money's already in tatters. And so they're just going to let this one slip by. It makes sense. Yugi's got Deagle armor as well. If he's going to be getting the orb going forward, that's a nice little setup already. And Valda, 15 HP, can't really justify losing the rifle at this point. So the other players waiting towards CD spawn. There's no real reason for Mousesports to push that area. It'd be really strange if they pushed any further now. They could have got exit through Banana, presumably. But either way, round on the board. 6-3 on the T side of Inferno here. And you can see them starting to make their way towards Banana now. Just confirming there's no funny business going on. And we'll see some pistol salvage there. It's going to be a Voxic to take the CZ. 4 players surviving on either side for now. There is 1 player towards T-spawn. That's going to be bench. But surely we won't get anything from this. Everyone's going to just hold at the bottom of Banana there. So this is a very convincing T-side from Mousesports. North are in a lot of trouble. Their finances are still troublesome. Can't afford the AWP for Yugi. And we get into round number 10 here. 5 M4s.
I mean, conversation perhaps to be had that one of the main rounds with weapons that we've seen North win on the CT side was that spurt of aggression. It was that charge towards second middle. It was the support from apps. We haven't seen a similar sort of call from the Danes since. 3 in a row now from Mousesports. And sending, perhaps going for the double on towards Apps. Whereas Yugi, did he just land that strafe? I think he did.
He did, didn't he? That's such a difficult
That's not
jump.
easy. KZ.
No. I see players practicing that in warm-up all the time and very rarely landed. That's a really sick jump, actually.
He had his teammate just to smooth himself out on towards the hay bales as well. That was nice work. And you can do that so quickly without the investment of a second player.
Yeah, that's cool. Well then.
Ooh, look at that setup from Mouse.
Little chicken with them as well.
Yeah, mice, chickens, they're all hanging out. The farmyard on the way towards A.
This is such a basic game plan. Don't have to be too flashy, but Carrigan, he'll miss out on the side there. And it looks like Yugi's done enough. He said he didn't have the AWP, but he's doing fantastically well with the M4. 3, we can 4 on 2. Voxy just 1 point of health. He's towards the arch side. Looking for anyone available, and it's going to be AZ offering himself up.
Yeah, he made so much noise. An elephant galloping. Not really what elephants do, Alex. Nice try. Towards the arch, and now Yugi actually just threw that smoke and stood in it. He wanted to find a way to survive, and it's worked out wonderfully. Great play from Yugi as he continues to stay top of the scoreboard for his teammates. 11 frags here in round 10.
Yeah, Chris might as well go for this. He's got plenty of cash, and Gade, Yugi, half HP. He's actually got the bomb in his back as well. He's just going to sneak out of here. Once he gets the bomb down, his chances of winning this round increase dramatically. But he only has the 1 flashbang. Where does he go for the plan here? He's just going to keep it towards first oranges. Let's see where he positions himself.
He's been in situations time after time. And he's chosen construction. Valda's smoke might force him to change his mind, though. 2 CTs charging up Banana. And they're going to have process of elimination. They're clearing a lot of corners fast here. This could be problematic for Chris. There's still a kit on Yugi. That's a start. They know where he is. He's taking down the low HP. That's the easy part. Take this fight! It could have been 3! Oh, Gade, he keeps North in it. Finds the 4th, but my goodness, Chris J, he was 19 points of health away from a 1 versus 3.
Yeah, he had him sweating there. Bomb planted, takes 2 kills down, 1 versus 1. He's suddenly wounded North going forward now. That was so tantalizingly close, Alex. 1 more bullet would have made that a possibility, and he got at the absolute most out of such a little setup there. The fact he had 1 flashbang and a 1 versus 3 gets 2 kills, his damage to the 3rd as well. It was looking so good. Right up to that bullet when Gade finally takes him down. You can see he's disappointed in it. He knew he had the chance to win that one. But still, great opportunity now to convert this. 5 M4s again. Still no AWP. No grenades on Kiabi or Yugi. Are they going to be challenging for a quick pick here? There's the flashbang over. Suggests they will.
Early info. Just knowing there's no T holding W up mid. And of course, that's something that Mousesports have already done and shown they're willing to do. What an interesting start. This Carrigan tagged up by AZ. Molotov from Valda stops him from being able to escape. I think they're going to wait a little bit until the smoke is gone, Henry.
I think you might be onto something there. So, Mousesports going for that banana control. Same boost as before. Remember, it wasn't actually detected in the previous round, so giving it another go. Easy to try and bait him in. He's going to be facing off the left-hand side of new boxes to take that aggro, hopefully take the initial aggression here from Mousesports. We'll see if this happens. He's waiting with the smoke in his hand, but they're going for a contact play. He might be caught out here.
Yeah, this is always interesting. Ahead of the smoke, and just as he arrived behind Valda, they weren't ready. The second, that's a steal.
Wow.
Catching AZ before the trade comes in. Now the site is theirs, just like that.
Yeah, like we said, it is a common pre-fire now. It doesn't seem to be as strong a position as it once was, especially against those contact players. You're sat there waiting for utility in your hand. Very vulnerable, and to be fair, they didn't really have much to work with. Hoping that setup would lead them to success, but overall, it's going to be 3 players trying to survive once again on the north side. It's going to be 7-4 now, as Ross looks like he's found at least one of these. That's going to be a lovely shot towards Kiabi. Does he detect further presence?
I mean, I'm telling you now, he's definitely not expecting 3 of them.
Well then, they make their way towards the apartments here north.
So they're kind of hunting.
Yeah. Checking T-spawn, Voxic's there. He's got the orb, staying alive here. Even with 2 M4 saved, they're in a very similar situation here. $1,900 per player into the next round. Loss bonus is not there at all. So what do they do here? Do they take another force spike, considering they have 2 M4s? They're a little bit desperate for round 2 on their CT side. I would say a tactical timeout is almost certain here.
Get Mither on the mic.
Yeah.
Let's see that again. So this is
dancing around the flames.
And that's the other side of the coin. Me and Henry have talked about this a couple of times, especially on Inferno, that players have gotten so good at finding the gaps in teams' Molotovs. If there's 2 on Banana, perhaps even one of their own, you'll be able to find them that perfect sweet spot where you can catch an opponent off guard by standing, quote-unquote, in the flames. Carrigan, unfortunately, put a toe too far. And AZ's damage was enough to convert on Valda's flame.
Yeah, it's a rough one for Carrigan. You see himself inside his own head there a little bit. It's 1-10 right now, but it's T side of Inferno. They're 7-4 up. He's the in-game leader. As far as you're concerned, everything's going okay.
7 rounds on the T side Inferno.
Yeah. North,
looking like 8.
Yeah, well, North are not going to force by here, so yeah, I think you might be right. And they're going to have to take this one on the chin and see whether Yugi and Gade can find any sort of opening. They've got a diffuse kit and utility for Gade, just in case they do find an opening here at all. It's going to be a smoke down towards the bottom of B, and Gade will be there with the rifle. Backed up from AZ. He's got the flashback. They might try and flash Gade over in a second if they feel like Chris J's got towards the top once again.
Always interested to see what players choose to do with the T-side AWP.
Wow, 3 of them now on towards Arch.
Just holding the crossfires. It's always such a tough one to break through. Utility usually used, and a smoke now pluming towards that triple stack. Speculative bullets from Frozen and Woxic. Oh, that could molly Valda straight out of position just as the smoke fades. I think he's got just enough time to scarp up. They'll have heard the sound cue. Carrigan was right there. Oh dear, gets a lot of information. Nice work from AZ though with the sidearm. I don't think that weapon's retrievable. They're going to have a go.
They can focus towards the quad side now. He spotted 3 players towards Arch, and he's just like, go plan towards A. Shouldn't be a problem. They'll save our guns. That's the correct call from North here. They've done what they can with this round, taking the AK, 2 M4s. The next one's about as good as it's going to get. Kiabi will still fight for another rifle, considering he just has that USP, but his chances are very limited.
No bomb plan either. Note that from Mousesports. They wanted that info. They catch Kiabi. Block 6 on his adventures, and nice work. Sidearm versus sidearm. P250. A little too strong. Catches the head of Kiabi.
No bomb planted yet.
Yeah, look at this restraint. They want to clear everything.
That's very well played, to be honest, and making sure that everything was clear. And they're going to keep everyone alive, as North will be nothing to do with this round whatsoever. They've got the AK-47. That's something. But ultimately, this is going to be saving here. So Mousesports, another nice methodical approach. Is Carrigan throwing himself in first? He gets towards Arch, detects a stack, gives a nice quick call as to what they should do next, and there's no problem after that. They have expended all their utility, but against the pistols, from what we've seen, especially this major alone, against Deagle's P250s, 5.7s especially, you might as well use all your grenades and treat every round like a gun round.
Yeah, and I'm glad we were watching Carrigan that round, because it is a good example of why he is leading in deaths quite considerably. He's died 11 times. Yeah. Think about the amount of information he's conveyed with that 1-for-1 raid. Very interesting.
There we have it. Another gun round available here, but still, I do not think Yugi can get the AWP. It would have to be dropped by AZ at this point, and he'll sacrifice all of his utility if he wants to do it. Looks like they'll be happy with the 5 rifle setup here. Round 13, North need more than 4 on their CT side. Ideally, 6 or 7, but that seems like a bit of a reach right now. Mousesports, nothing too complicated or flashy, just a great team approach. Nice trading, good fragging potential. Voxic's having a fantastic performance here. Round 13, and CTs with 4 players towards A, just AZ towards B. He'll be dropping the majority of his utility now just to show presence and hopefully deny any sort of Mousesports.
Their ability to change up the pace, such a big factor in successful T-sides, and this one much slower for Mouse. They know this is going to be North's best shot, best buy in a while. But now the Danes have stacked towards the A site. They've got plenty of utility still in the arsenal, in the armory. And that's a good reason why we're seeing such a passive start. Ooh, damage, good damage done from Smoke. Win this exchange though, Kirby eventually does go down. A war of attention towards Quad, and now the trades come out. Valda swinging. Wants to try and avenge his fallen orb, but be able to do so with Mouse back away once again.
What a battle this is towards middle. There were 4 CTs here at the start. Chris J making his way towards the B side will take AZ, and that's a completely open other half of the map now. Gator's got his work cut out from him. He's a couple around him right now. He's got the potential to find a few, but Mousesports shuts it down. Once again, just being patient, not overcommitting, working together. 3 survive once again, and it's 9-4. North were even expecting that. They are ready. 2 players towards Quad, 2 at the Arch, and still it's Mousesports to come out on top. Chris J helps himself towards the B side, finds a completely open area after taking down AZ, and you can see Robs is doing a fantastic job with that Krieg. It's a big round for them to pick up, and another tactical timeout. It looks at things for North here. Nothing going in their favor. They actually had a pretty decent start. Remember, they won the pistol with that aggressive push. We thought that was going to be it, but overall they started looking pretty decent. Went 3-3, but ever since these gun rounds really have got rocking and rolling, it's been 6-1 as Mousesports go for a 9-4 lead here. Money is okay on the North side, but it's going to be more of the same SMGs and rifles. I would say Yugi needs that AWP now. He's going to be down to the SMG again. It's been a really rough game for the money.
Yeah, and a rough game for North in general. Just take a look at the fact that that's their 3rd timeout. That's their 3rd timeout. Coming into the T side, no less.
That's a good point, because you're a lot more tactical, relying on coordination and ideas and counter-stratting your opponents. If you have no pauses for that second half, could be an issue. Need to hold on to that one now.
One of the many resources involved in competitive Counter-Strike, those timeouts. 3 out of 4 burned in 14 rounds of play. Excuse me, 13. This is the 14th. Let's see how this one shapes up.
So a more standard setup here from North. Back to 2 players towards B. That's going to be Valda and AZ, of course. They've got all the utility they need and the rifles towards B. But a very standard setup. 1 spawn, 1 towards coffins. It's trying to hold Mousesports at bay, but they've already broken through here.
Ooh, they were well ahead of that smoke, and they start to back away. The flash is so good from Mousesports. They're able to just walk in.
Damn, what do you even do now?
They're already full access. The smokes are still there. The walls are up.
And they keep presenting this contact play. There's no telegraphed action, but the grenades, that's much better from North. They've done so much damage there. This could be absolutely out. I think they've got it. They've denied the bomb, not quite, but still a 5 versus 3.
Biggest utility this was from North is fantastic. Mouse, they're being suffocated. Chris J, he's definitely coming out for air, and he does relieve some pressure. 3 from Chris, he's on for the edge. It would have to be. He doesn't have the health for that fight, and it will be the 5th for North, courtesy of a fantastic use of their nades on the way in.
Yeah, how good was that?
Oh my, I mean, that felt miragey.
Yeah,
this is Inferno.
That was really cool from North. You can see they're dangerous on this map. They just need the resources available to them. They've recovered the AWP. They're going into round number 15 now. If they can get 9-6, win the pistol in the second half, they're right back into this one. But I would say they definitely need this round. Let's see what they can do with it. It's going to be full buy on either side at this point. An exciting first half, you can see. Not much separating them when they're both equally matched in terms of the setup. And Chris J, I thought that was going to be another magical moment of his.
He's having plenty, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, Yugi has the orb for the final round of this first half. AK as well for Valda. And confidence now pushing down towards the T-steps, but they have been spotted. Do they continue with it? It looks like Kiabi, he isn't wasting any time at all. He will be dropped though, however. Chris J will find him from the T-steps. And that little gambit they had towards middle will have to be silenced at this stage and fall back to a more defensive setup. Crossfires and either bomb site.
That must be so frustrating for Kirby. He's so close to converting that frag on Woxic. He can see the barrel. He's practically shooting his fingernails off, but he couldn't convert. No smoke on steps. The trade comes in from Mouse, and I say trade, Woxic didn't fall. Smart of him to just dig himself in, count on his teammates for that response, and I think it might just be rinse repeat, Henry.
Yep, it absolutely is. They're happy just to walk in. They know there hasn't been too much practice side of things towards B, but AZ hitting shots now. He's going to need a second though, trying to deny that before the incendiary once again. He's trying to buy time, but unfortunately Robs will take him. And it's going to be a 4 versus 3 in the final round of the first half. No saving here. They were so good at the retake before, but they had that 5-on-3 advantage. We'll see now if there's anything to be said with the AWP on the retake, which holds towards CT spawn right now.
Yeah, they don't have that dream set of nades they did in the round prior. You're right, this is going to have to be bullets, and I don't know if they're going to be given enough opportunities to make some. Wins the fight versus Roxy. Yugi, and he's still in there, willing to take that fight. Rops towards Emo, feeling quite the contrary right now. He pushes forward, throws it onto Val there, and that's the 10th. Mousesports, they're going to be going into that second half with double digits.
Yeah, what a great game that was from Mousesports. The first half is looking excellent for them. Nothing too complicated, nothing too technical, straight team play and lovely shots. Can they keep it up? You have to find out after this break.
Hello.
Sad game, yeah, sad game.
Awesome.
जल्दी स्टार्ट करें यार, ये खत्म करके जाऊंगा।
कहाँ जा रहा है? वहाँ सेंटर?
हाँ?
कहाँ जा रहा है?
होने जाऊंगा। 5 बजे का उठा हूँ।
North versus Mousesports, a best of 1. The map Inferno, and a 10-5 lead going into the defense for the European or the international roster. The Danes so far have used 3 of their 4 timeouts. It was a tough one.
Yeah, and understandably so. They were being reset all over the place. Their money was never really stabilizing. Any rounds they would win would come right down to 1 versus 1s. They had a couple of successful retakes towards that B bomb site, but they're going to need the pistol here on the T side to really stand a chance and convince us they can go deep in towards this map. P250 for Valda. They've got 2 smokes, 1 Molotov, and we'll see where they want to finish up. It'll be up to Voxic with his P2000 to take down AZ. You can hear what that means to him. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, he could go to an open mic night and just play that.
That was pretty disgusting.
That's
I'm not gonna lie to you.
ridiculous. 1 bullet fired, 1 body dropped. Now looking to advance on towards the A site. It is North, all of their resources, and Woxic, he's doubled up, catches Yugi as well before he's silenced. Just straight from Rops to tap the head of Gade. The numbers do favour Mousesports, but Valda, he's positioned on the side. Kirby tucked in on Pit. They could profit, not if Chris reacts like that though. In the tight corner, 3 people hunting him down, and it seems that precision is on the menu in the Mousesports camp.
Oh, I love that.
Woo! I'm getting fired up, I'm not even playing.
That's so awesome. That was crazy shot here. So he just comes back around that P2000.
Bye.
1 bullet fired. And it's a great finish as well. Certainly sticks the landing on that one. He's really feeling it. Like I said, he's had a pretty up and down tournament so far. He's had technical issues, but anything but today. He is roaring loud and proud as we get into round 17 here. We are going to see the force buy from North. We'll see what can be done. The bomb was planted, so it does enable you to get a couple of rifles out here. AZ will be left with Deagle, no armor. Same sort of for Yugi. They're the ones that had to drop the weapons.
Right.
Gade and Valda will have to see if they can get the work done here. They've got smokes, Molotovs, flashbangs, and Krieg and an AK. Frozen looking to get that first pick, and he's already spotted the AK now. He'll be relaying that information. Ideally, you don't want to fire a shot from the AK unless you're like guaranteed a headshot there, but now Mousesports can reposition, set up crossfires, knowing that the rifles are out.
That cost Frozen so little. So many players are starting to integrate just little jumps for info into their charges. quick glimpse towards the logs was all it needed, and now they can start to lock it out, start using their utility. Admittedly, it's not particularly plentiful. That's actually the second to last smoke. One remains after that one fades, and with still 70 seconds on the clock, they're going to have to use bullets to keep North at bay. 2 members unarmored, let's not forget that. CSGO comfortable on B for now. Loving the additional sprinkles of insight we're getting.
Yeah, it's just enough, isn't it?
It's just enough. I mean, yeah, it's a tough balance to strike so far. No complaints from my side.
Well, North are desperate at this point. If this round doesn't work out for them, they're in a lot of trouble. But this looks like a successful first reach. There it is. Back and forth we go. It looks like Voxic and Go will be killing each other, but still a 2 versus 2. Gay down to 3 points of health. Chris J rotating in from the B bomb side, of course, with a bomb planted. Gay isolated on the side here with just that 3 points of health.
I want them to swap weapons, ideally. Yep, thank God. Okay, so Voxic's going to be the scout. 16 points of health. He's got the MP7. He's just going to try and get info on where they are at the moment. Graveyard and mini pit. Send him in first. And they do exactly that. Info, site clear. Now looking to work off the back of that. Where's the kill? There's one, yes, in the hands of Voxic. He's low and he's standing now. Great work from the day they needed that. Just relieve some of that pressure Mousesports were putting on them. And they'll find themselves their first of the second half on the T side.
There it is, the much needed round. It was a very awkward back and forth because that's so unlucky for Voxic there. He made up for it, got the follow-up kill 2-on-2, but nice positioning from North, very good patience as well, an excellent shot fired by Kiabi. We do have the force buy from Mouse in response. 5-7s, CZ's Desert Eagles. They've got the smokes required. We've talked about this approach all tournament long, Alex. On Inferno CT side, it's very viable. It's all about running that clock down at the top of your screens. Ideally, holding onto the smokes until about the 40-second mark and then start dropping them just as they commit. That's the dream, as they will be swapping weapons here on the B site.
5 times 3, 15. $1,500, Henry, is all it costs to lock them out with those smokes.
Exactly.
Quick maths.
That's not bad.
That's why I'm here. They want to try and lock them out, but of course we saw the contact plays from Mousesports being the counter to that. Getting ahead of those smokes, and that's enough of a warning. Chris J will take a bullet to the shoulder blade, and the smoke from his teammate will keep them, for now, towards Banana.
They're right back in this game now. That second round force buy was a bit of a gamble whether they can win this one. It'll be an excellent situation for North to be in. Frozen, we flashed off towards first oranges, and the smoke's defending the North players towards the well right now, but the bombs drop. Chris J finds it.
This should just be North's round, but it's getting worse and worse. Great work from Frozen, the patience from him. Chris J's doing body shots. What is this? Another one. 3 in the round from the Dutchman. Just the deal is all he needed. Kirby's left alone. And Mousesports, they fight back. That is gorgeous work. Not a single body dropped. They're all still standing. The coach can't really believe it.
Well then, it's going to be 5 players surviving. I said those sort of rounds are extremely viable in today's game. I didn't expect them to have a clean sweep like that. What has Chris J had for breakfast today? He is playing out of his mind. Every position, every shot, so calculated. And he'll find himself just doing all the heavy lifting towards that B-bomb site. Wow. And it has to be the force buy response. This is maybe one of the last lives of North here. Give this round up. You're 13-6 down with an eco on the agenda. It's not quite as powerful on the T side, I have to say, as on the CT forces. You don't have the same option to lock out your opposition.
Yeah, all that pressure's on you. You dictate the pace of the round, or at least normally. Seen examples of that CT aggression. Try and change that.
So you can hear the communication there of Mousesports. It's up to Chris J to detect who's on the other side, and he has been hit, so he will fall back. AZ, Desert Eagle, confirms they're on a force buy here, potentially partial, but it is all the cash invested as he tries to find any point of access. He's got a great deagle on him, and this time it doesn't connect. And Voxic, what a prime position this is, but actually takes a bit of damage there. Feels like he's a little under pressure, going to be falling back towards the bomb site, allowing them to have arch, but still a nice off angle here. He wouldn't necessarily pre-fire this one.
Yeah, they're just procedurally falling back, letting North have access to these parts of the map, and now they're walking towards B, sure, but that's a perfect weapon for the job. That's a shooting gallery for Chris J. Kirby, he had to work extra hard, squinting in his monitor as he finds the head. 1 HP, my goodness, Kirby shouldn't have a shot. Wow, another one. 2 for him, gets himself the Krieg, but a single bullet would take him out of this one. The time's not on his side either. Another frag for Kirby. Does he have an opportunity to get that bomb down? I think Alex has something to say. Mousesports closing in towards the magic number, 3 to go.
As long as they won that round and all 5 players went down, crisis averted, because even though it came down to quite a tense situation, as we mentioned, North will have to be eco this round. If they only have $2,000 per player, not really worth the force buy because they can bring out AK's armor next round with the over $4,000 they'll have. Here's the replay of Chris J. You'd think he'd maybe get a few more there, but he had Frozen backing him up as well. It wasn't a problem. Even with Kiabi hitting shots like that, he didn't get close to planting the bomb. There it is, 4 Glocks, 1 Deagle. A really desperate situation now for the Danes. A B rush potentially, or are these going straight up towards middle? Looks like it's the latter. Oh, the flash assist there could be marvellous.
They are all doing the dance. They tuck into the corners and safe for now. An inevitable 14th round for Mousesports.
Surely.
Some crazy things, Henry, but I don't think that's going to slip away this time. Just a nice, comfortable spray. He's fine 3. His teammates there just to wrap it up, put a cherry on it. Don't know why you're putting a cherry on a gift. That's 2 different analogies. I mean, you could put a cherry on a gift.
Kiabi will get a couple of kills, but essentially it will be Mousesports to pick up the round and get 1 step closer to closing this one out, as we see a 14-6 scoreline on the CT side. Money will be there for North, as we mentioned. They'll have AKs, armor, and most of the utility. No AWP, but not necessarily a massive deal on the T side of Inferno. Voxic has his. That is a big deal. Kiabi, a couple of frags. They line up for him. Pays off the debts for his Desert Eagle at least.
It's a nice way to think about it.
And we get into what could be the round where Mousesports will find a match point here.
It's crunch time for the Danes.
Gade with no armor, just to note that with the AK. You don't see that too often.
Oh, yeah, real rarity. Perhaps indicative of the state of North's communications.
It's a rough one out there for them. Compromises had to be made.
Box right now, he's getting bullets thrown at him. Nice work from Gade through the walls in bedroom. That's a rare catch. North need to profit from this. They need to convert this and ideally do so neatly. Chris J's full flat. Fantastic work from Yugi, but still resistance present. Just the one for Carrigan. Towards Boiler, things are indeed heating up. Woxic's in trouble though. All close quarters. He's being pushed from every angle. Can't even take one, I lie. Gade down and out of the equation, but the round surely theirs.
Yeah, you would think so with Frozen left in the 3 versus 1, but he'll certainly see what's available to him. Going towards the quad side now, no one there. Should be almost no chance he wins this. Got the M4, $2,300 in reserve. Up against these 3 players, I don't even think there's a point of access here. He finds the Molotov, just trying to scavenge anything he can. So it takes the Krieg, gets out of there, calls it a day. They have 1 buy in them still. They want to close it out as quickly as possible. So him saving the Krieg seems to be the wisest approach. You've got a Desert Eagle for Rops as well, or Voxic, because they're going to be struggling for cash. I'll probably go for a Deagle armor. If they do indeed force in this, they don't have to. They've got a nice buffer of rounds. They could just wait. But Frozen can drop 1 rifle. Carrigan by himself. Same story for Chris J. There'll just be a couple of players with compromises here. And they're able to win rounds with just Deagle to 5-7 and some smoke. So maybe they do fancy this. They will take a tactical timeout regardless. It's going to be the second of the Mousesports team here. Just going to slow things down, work out what their approach will be. Do they want to fully commit to this, considering they have the nice lead now? Frozen with the Krieg. Could just be a partial buy around up. That could be enough. If he drops the Deagle, they get some other upgraded pistols and armor.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. We just saw them do it with sidearms and smokes.
Oh, looks like they're going for IT and AWP. Out and about. Voxic wants to end this early.
I mean, if he's got the spawn, actually I'm going to check now, because he's been loving pushing towards that mid-peak early. He hasn't got the spawn for it, won't do so. That's 14 then to 7. Just the sacrifice for Carrigan, Henry, but you're right, this is the Mousesports. You said they wanted to close it out early. Well, their buy is certainly showing all the signs of it.
Yep, absolutely. They're going to fight for this one. If they get it, they know there won't be much cash left for that potentially final round. No real aggression on the CT side. They'll be leaving 1 player in the form of Voxic towards B alone. Not in a prime position now. He's lost control of the corner, looking to reclaim that. Flashbang doesn't feel so secure for himself. Going to be dropping back to more defensive line of CT Sport. Smokes and flashes coming over. Gives up the fact he has the orb. Has to drop the smoke now. He knows he's in a bit of trouble here. Smoke really isn't ideal.
Yeah, there's definitely a line there.
No, that's not great. He knows it as well. He'll have to go to a much more defensive setup here.
What's up with this, though? App's presence from the T's. You got Gade towards Boiler. Kirby's actually cleared out and got himself set up towards, well, looking towards site from Bout. So nades towards B. The bomb's there too. Could be somewhat of a double pump. Nope, nades still being set up. Woxic's the only man there. And the CTs are responding. Gade's got the call. This is an interesting one. Yugi's going to catch him out. The timings and the communication starting to dissolve for Mousesports. Great work again. Valda's caught another 30 seconds. Robs is looking to survive at this point. Smokes out Boiler.
30 seconds though, Alex. If they go towards Voxic here, he has a chance of closing this out. Do they have enough to actually flush them a position? They have the Molotovs, but will they throw the correct one?
20 seconds. Woxic, the only man ready to defend this site. He has to go first. He has to do so tidily, and that's mission complete. More on the checklist. The hard flick and the can't. 10 seconds.
No
what?
way!
Yugi through new box. You don't see that every day.
Wow, that confirms the round. There was 5 seconds remaining in that plan. If he gets one more kill, Voxic and stays alive, he pretty much wins it single-handedly. They had to go for the wall bang there, and he rips off his head.
Just Yugi. That T-side up. That's 2 in the round, but that one worth its weight in gold. My goodness, 8 men for North.
Yeah, that's a great effort.
They shrug off the, what do you call that? A force from Mousesports. There were sacrifices made.
Absolutely, they had the deagle on Carrigan. They did what they could, relying on the AWP. It looked like it could have been enough there right towards the end, but North will keep their heads above water and keep 4 players alive at the same time. Robson Frozen save the rifles. They've got a flashbang defuse kit to save with it. Not a whole lot, and I don't think it's in the next round. Probably just some PT-50s to go with the rifles here, as Mousesports won't be able to find the quick finish they're looking for. It's North now. Let's start that long journey of the grind back in on the T side, no less. And here's Yugi. We'll have a look at some of the kills he managed to pull together. Let's have a look how impressive this wallbang actually was. Legit, straight through new boxes, right on their head. You can see Voxic, his heart must have been racing at that point. You could see the timer. He knew he had to stay alive. It's unlikely that shot connects. I can't stress that enough.
He knew he had a shot as well. You see players in their play and their decision making. You can see when they truly believe. Woxic, he knew he had an opportunity that Yugi took it away from him.
It had to be the headshot.
It had to be. I'm pretty sure with the damage and the thickness of that, had to be in the dome.
That's the only way they kill him so cleanly.
So 2 saved rifles. Mousesports, same objective as always. This time, not with the tools they dream of. They have to stack up something. Much earlier stack this time from Mousesports, not letting and aiding Chris J in his investigations towards B instead.
Yeah, he just has the smoke. He's just trying to funnel them towards A if possible. There is a chance they can win this with the 2 rifles towards the A side. 4 players in total. No upgraded pistols over Carrigan, Chris J, and Voxic, all on default setups here.
So North, they are going to once again want to use that utility to solve a lot of the problems for them. No close corners, can see that pit. CT Arch, all currently laden with flame.
Chris Jade has deployed his smoke towards B at the 50-second mark, so hoping that's enough to allow them to continue their push towards A here. They have got a lot of presence this side of the map though, but will they send everyone in with the bomb? They seem to be second guessing it. Bomb still towards top and middle. Gade just holding quad.
Frozen and Robs, they're both on the site with the rifles. North could be walking into the Lion's Den rather appropriately, given the logo. Here comes Roxto. Perfect in towards the pit. And this is only just going to be a consolation prize at this point. Gade and Valda, huge double kills from both of them to find the 9th.
Yeah, great execution there as well. You can see them biding their time, not overcommitting, dropping another smoke, flashbangs before they commit, and going through together, making sure there's trade potential. And as you said, Gade and Valda finding the all-important kills towards those riflers. Chris J playing B initially. This time, though, looking for any sort of exit frags towards the apartments. He'll only have the USP as he sits now, waiting for them to exit, but no real reason for them to leave the bomb site. We went over this before, Alex. You can just sit there at the back with that plant towards the back wall. Everyone can stay in the pits. Chris J not going to be finding much here, it seems.
Is Gade going down with the ship? He's fine graveyard.
Yeah, I thought like 4 14-15.
Close,
So
yeah.
he was certainly playing with fire there.
Bit of an oopsie, but Chris couldn't quite find anything with his late arrival towards that pit peak.
Well, there we go.
3 in a row.
Yes, absolutely. Just what they needed. Double digits up next. They certainly have the money going forward. And here's the replay of their assault towards the A side. You can see Molotov's eradicating risk towards the pit. And Frozen had a chance to maybe buy a bit of time there. That kill towards Valda would have been very important. Couldn't quite find it with the creep. And like I said, the money not fantastic on the CD side. Chris J, CZ, 4 rifles around it. Bare-bones utility as well, trying to take some control of the banana position here. Yogi fires off a shot, nothing connecting as they continue their push down towards this side of the map. Chris J trying to get close to those T-steps.
Teams often, when smoked off early, have some procedures in place to clear out the corners Chris J's tucked himself into. We'll see how they choose to approach this round. For now, North do just posture mid. Very grouped up. No contact early for the T's. North, they're given quad. Whew, and a hail of utility being rained in towards the A site. Chris J makes his whereabouts known.
But now he's pushed them in towards A. They can't really fall back. Do they dare?
Get a fork out because you're about to eat your words. Chris J through the underpass. Getting under their skin, a dink towards Gade. Now they have the numbers, but with all of that hard work from Chris J, the clock is getting awkward. 30 seconds. He has the info. He knows one's tagged. And a 2-2 split.
Yeah, they're going to send a little bit of presence here on the 25-second mark towards B. This will be the fake out, I imagine. Might send one player in. Yugi will just be showing a little bit of presence here. But now they've got 15 seconds. If it does get awkward, it could fall apart very quickly. It's down to Carrigan and Ross.
Ross, he has to get more than one, and that's perfect from North. The nade arrives, as does the plant, just in the nick of time.
Yep, clean round there. Certainly had some question marks around it towards that final commitment, but no problem at all. 4 versus 2, round guaranteed. And once again, Mousesports will be holding on to 2 M4s here, Frozen and Voxic. Given that responsibility, it's going to be double digits for North now. They're really coming to life on their T side.
That's a nice call as well. So that, the fact that they're throwing utility, execute utility towards B at 20 seconds.
It looked like when Chris J was towards that underpass position, that could have been enough just to really push him towards the A side into that stack, but they were calm about it. They didn't panic, even though the clock was so low.
Yeah.
They made sure they took him down, and then, like he said, that fake towards B just to keep a low presence over there, a couple of players on that side of the map, and make their way through with the Molotovs once again. Towards the A side. 4 players survive once again as they get 4 rounds in a row. Money won't be a problem now as North continue applying the pressure here in the second half. It didn't look like they stood much of a chance considering how strong Mousesports were on their T side.
Yeah. 10-5 on the half. Mousesports just looking to convert those last 2 rounds, but North are making it oh so difficult. 4 plants, 4 successful rounds for North. They're getting into the site now.
Yeah.
And this time the resistance is going to be a little lackluster from Mouse. It's just going to be those rifles, a couple of armor pistols, sure, and actually through the flames they go. They do extinguish it. It looks like they're looking to turn up the heat. Force out some utility, perhaps enough with the steps and the extinguished molly. We do see the CTs fall back in towards the site.
5 players outside B right now. In terms of the CT setup, they're rotating Carrigan over. He's only got the CZ, no armor, no utility either. And we're trying to back up Frozen though. They drop one of their final bits of utility. 1 smoke remaining on that side of the map. We'll see if this is going to be a chance for Mousesports here, but North have been so good at understanding when to commit, reading the game very well. Going towards the boiler room. Outside that position, Kiabi will just be spamming towards the top of quad, but that's not where he is. B commitment looks likely here.
Woxic, he's got Yuki trained on coffins. He's going to have to stay in the off angle if he wants to survive, and so far so good for him. Carrigan. Draw their attention to good flash from Frozen, completely locked Yuki. To get the first, now the second. Opts for a fresh magazine. All eyes on him. It's time for Frozen to build the lead. Finds himself a second, and now the last man standing's Kierby, looking to be the hero. He's done a lot of the heavy lifting. Just pistols remain. Nothing can be scavenged initially on the extremities. Bomb is on his back. It would have to be the ace clutch. Straight training on this push. It's beautiful from the Dutchman. Had to be the one shot.
Yeah, 3 players towards B is what works out for them. Voxic from the coffins gets a couple of frags. Alley-oops frozen from the new boxes. They didn't anticipate that third player to be there, especially with the rifle as well. That's a gut punch towards North, as now match point has been found. That final tactical pause will come through. Money's not the problem, it's the round difference, and we'll see whether they can get 5 in a row now. As we get into round number 26, Mousesports just need 1 to close out Inferno and send North into the 0-2 territory.
And they'd have been sent there in rather sterling fashion. Mousesports, once again seeing them on Inferno. I just wanted to double check how many times we've seen Mousesports Inferno, because I know this isn't the first.
Well then, tactical pause will come to an end momentarily. 1 round will do it. They've got the AWP on Voxic, Rob's at 22 kills. Chris J and Voxic up there as well. Full buys all round. Yuki has the AWP on the T side. They're trying to close this one out with aggression towards the bottom of middle. Robs is so good in these games. He's spinning himself right now. That's kill shot right now though, but it's actually the tag from Voxic that enables him to get 2 frags there. That's fantastic.
Did he tag
He
easy
did.
through Robs?
He absolutely did.
Sacrifice.
It was scrappy, but it works out. They've got the lead now.
Oh,
and what
no.
could be the final round?
Yugi, AZ, forced to watch as the remaining 3 for North look to fight and fend off what would be 0-2. A reverse sweep through the Swiss bracket in order to keep your major dreams alive. That would be the reality if they don't win this round. Tags from Kirby. He actually pushes Carrigan. He's only doing the dance. Good damage. Can they convert? They do. Another for Gade. Gets himself into the 1v1. Knows Chris J's the B player. That's info. How quickly has Chris J closed that gap? Gade with the steps or the sound cue from Chris. I don't think he heard it actually. Back turned at the moment. High on the box. That's beautiful. It had to be Gade to pick up the multi-kill. 3 in the round. 1 versus 1. And an AWP scavenged his way.
Yes, indeed. That's a massive round for Gade to pick up there, of course. Against Chris J as well. He's playing out of his mind, it seems, every single opportunity he gets. And we get into the 15-11 scoreline. Remember, no more pauses for North here. But they have got a massive advantage going into the next round. A couple of MP9s for Frozen and Carrigan. But a change of pace. They've got a double AWP set up as well. Chris J brings out that secondary AWP. We don't see it too often these days, but when he does bring it out, it's always exciting. He'll presumably take his towards B. Backed up from Frozen. Who will be trying to get the map control at the bottom towards Logs. So he's going to be happy there. You can see the rotations now towards CT spawn. Logs are trying to buy a little bit of time and sense presence on the other side of that smoke now.
When the smoke's present, you'll notice Voxic just standing that extra little bit wide. Doesn't want to get caught off by the pre-fire on the corner. As SMG sacrifices don't feel like sacrifices when you're playing spots that Frozen was. He's actually been forced off or fallen off. Smoke arrives in middle.
It's a strong one as well. Good news for North is they still have their utility. In buckets and spades, they've got 3 smokes, flashbangs, molotovs. Haven't given much up so far. It's a good flashbang. Voxic, if he fired there, probably gets a kill. Goes to the peak again. He gets one, they're going to pounce on him. He knows he has to go to a more defensive line. Full mid control for North here. 3 players on the A side for Mousesports.
This is a second AWP. It's Chris J. Powerful position. He's going to get the first already. Loaf is going to come and actually doubles up. Now Rops is there as well. They have the numbers. The bomb's not down. Gade and AZ to try and keep North alive in this one.
Yeah, 6 HP for the hero of last round. He'll punch the numbers in and get that bomb planted. They got 1 more smoke for Library here. Can they get it down? Still possible to win this one, considering they have MP9s and the AWP. Far from ideal there, Alex.
Gade trying to catch one early, just on the edge of that smoke instead. It's going to be AZ. Finds himself the second of the round. And Gade, with his low HP, is backing out Carrigan. Now Voxic to the 1v2. Quick flick onto AZ. Gade pushed it, and it's him again.
Yes.
Saving the day. 6 HP, doesn't care. Finds 2 kills and gets North the 12.
He wasn't scared to challenge in that round either. His teammate takes all the aggro, and he's able to swing out the apartments and punish anyone coming towards that bomb. 15-12, surely an eco, or at the very least a partial buy for Mousesports. Mousesports here. North now 3 rounds away from overtime. Pressure on for both sides, but that's a huge one to pick up. You see Gade not hanging his team out to dry, and using the fact he knows he's against the AWP at that stage, he's not going to be worried about the HP at all. And here we go then, round 28. USP.
Really good shot from Mousesports. The double AWP set up. They put all their eggs in that basket.
Yeah, absolutely. First time we've seen it. But once again, upgraded pistols, 3 sets of Kevlar, 4 smokes. They've won this round before.
Will North fall to the same game again? This would be quite the exceptional comeback from North. T-side Inferno, no less.
It would be amazing. The overtime would be so fun to watch if they bring this all the way back, but still a long way to go.
A long and tenuous road.
Well, mid control has been granted towards North here. Most of the smoke's baited out as well. Just one remaining. That's for Chris J. He'll be holding towards B. And it's easy. Just trying to bait them in here. Trying to get the spot. A few towards top and middle. Voxic with the USP armor. Not really able to do much with that. Has to go back towards library.
He'd be gone if he didn't have the Kev. Down to the 13 again. Another bullet connects and enables Carrigan to swing out. Survival from Voxic has already bore fruit. To get one, but I like there's restraint just a little bit. Doesn't matter. North are going to win this one with ease. To get the wiper. I don't think he's got a chance. Nice work. Kyobi gets 3 in the round, and now North just 2 away from dragging Mousesports into the overtime. All of that lead gone, nullified. Start again. MR310K. If they can pick up 2 back-to-back. They've already picked themselves up a string of, what was it, 4, now 3.
Yes. Yeah, it's currently 8-5 here in the second half. So what's the Mousesports call here? Voxic back on the AWP. 3 rifles so far. Chris J can afford the secondary AWP again on the nose. It'd be glass cannon, but maybe that's enough. They got so close before. See if that's the way they want to go. Carrigan up against fellow countryman here. Hasn't had his best showing with the team on the T side. Looked fantastic. He's the puppet master of the operation.
This is when Counter-Strike becomes a different game entirely. You've shown a lot of your playbook.
Exactly.
You've seen a lot of individual plays, and now it's a combination of all of them. Mousesports, they just need the one. Do what they've done 15 times before, but this one, oh so elusive so far. Great work from North. Wiping the sleep from their eyes just when they needed to. Not big barrage of nades. Doesn't really discourage Frozen. Actually still jumping for that info. We'll call it clear as the nades arrive.
Yeah, he takes a little bit of damage there on the retreat, but CTs have fended off North for now. Plenty of time in this round. Yugi back on the AWP looking for any aggression. In terms of the setup, Voxic will be holding towards Arch as usual. He'll have Carrigan underneath the quad, and Rob's watching the apartments from the same position, trying to work in tandem off each other here. Dropping utility, sensing threats towards top and middle, trying to hold on to that position. It's very valuable. And we'll see a rotation from the AWP towards B. This suggests some sort of push, Alex. As they start to get CTs in position.
They get smoked perfect. He's actually going to choose to look at Chris J. Oh, he's doing it all! Incredible work from Chris J. 1 clip of his M4 and 4 fall.
That's surely it here. AZ, wrong side of the map. 30 seconds remaining. 4 versus 1. And there it is. Chris J with a stunning finish here to close it out in regulation. He'll